Hello everybody. This video is about what we commonly refer to as totem poles. Now, like most of us, I've been following our friend Mark Abel, aka Colorado Bigfoot, for some time. And in almost every one of his videos, I've been noticing that every time he gets into an area where there's a so-called totem pole, his attitude starts to change. Like if he's under some kind of spell or something. Now, I was looking at his video the other day, the one he made about Dog Man No Man, and in it, you're gonna see he gets to this one point in the video where he comes across one of these totem poles. Now, I was noticing that something was moving. At first, I noticed a little orb, and then I noticed that something was moving, but it almost seemed like it was happening right in front of him, but he wasn't noticing it. So I tried slowing it down. I went to slow-mo and I slowed it down, but no matter how hard I tried, it still came out blurry. Now, I'm going to post the pictures for you on this video, and the reason I'm doing that is because I'm starting to think that these so-called totem poles aren't totem poles at all. I'm starting to think they're more like portals. Now, I know, everybody's, the portal's this, portal's that. Well, listen, let me finish, okay? The reason I'm saying that is because almost every video I know I watch, notice this, next time Mark does a video and he gets into an area where there's a totem pole, okay? Notice how his attitude changes, like if he's under some kind of a spell. Okay, we all know that Mark's a good guy. We know that, he's one of the best out there, or the best out there, however you want to say it. I consider him to be a real good friend, but when I started listening to his videos, at first I was getting very offended by them. Simply for the fact that, he you know how Mark is, he doesn't sugarcoat it. He says, he calls everybody idiots, whatever the case may be, but I'm starting to realize that a lot of the times when he does that, that's when he gets around these portals. The rest of the time, he's mellow. And then once he gets around these totem poles, he starts talking like that. Like I said, first of all, I want everybody to know it's not my intention to try to convince anybody or an existence of Bigfoot, gnomes, little people, whatever. I simply know what I know, and I've learned that by doing a lot of research on it. I don't go out to the field as much as most of you do, but I do a lot of other research. And as you know from the video about the Bigfoot cloaking, we have irrefutable proof that Bigfoot cloaks. Now, whether or not you choose to believe that is up to you. But I believe that today I have proof that these so-called totem poles are actually portals. Because why is it that every time he sees a portal, everything else around it, there's always one big area, okay, there's always a totem pole, and then there's always one big area cleared around it, but there's no trees around it for maybe 20, 30 feet around it. And then, but all the other trees are in perfect condition. It's not like he's going to a burnt out forest or anything. The rest of the trees are beautiful, except for that one totem pole, aka portal. And on this particular video, right before he got to it, I started noticing a lot of different stuff. Because the thing about me is when I watch these videos, when I watch you guys' videos, I break them down frame by frame by frame. It takes me a while. And it actually sometimes it's aggravating because once there's a lot of other stuff I want to do sometimes. Once I get into a video, I can't stop until I try to figure out what's going on. And I've seen this almost on every one of his videos where he comes across one of these totem poles, how his attitude starts changing, like he becomes a different person. But in this particular video, you're going to see right before he gets to the point where the portal opens up. Like I say, I tried slowing this video down. I put it in slow-mo and everything, and no matter how hard I tried, the captures that I got are blurry. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. And people are always saying, "Why is this so blurry? Why? That's all a bunch of bull crap." We all know that, okay? Because if you've done any kind of research in this subject, you know that that's just the way it is. Bigfoot, they don't like cameras. They don't like cameras. People think they're going to go in there with their trail cams and their this and all that crap and drones and all that. No, that's not. They're too smart for that. These creatures have been able to elude humans for thousands of years. How do they do that? Because they're smarter than we are. They're smarter than we are. Or they have better technology than we do. One of the two, I don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out. But it doesn't help when everybody's just making sarcastic comments. Because if you can't open your mind to this subject, then you have no business being here. You know, and basically what you're doing is dragging the rest of us down with you. So if you can't open your mind up to these new concepts, then you know what? My advice to you would be to look into something else. You know, get into fishing videos or something. I don't know what to tell you. Because these things do exist. We have irrefutable evidence they exist. We've had interactions with them. We have footprints. We have pictures. I mean, what more do you want? People ain't going to be satisfied until one of them shits in your hand on camera. Then maybe people will understand. Maybe they'll believe. Well, I believe that this video I'm going to show you today is going to open your mind up to a bunch of different possibilities. And then maybe, more and more, we'll all start to understand why they call these things cryptids or whatever the case may be. Me, myself, I call them the deceivers. Because they're deceiving. Seems like they invite you in by making all these structures. And you know, the thing is, I've tried to get away from this subject, but it seems like I go to the mountains, I'll go fishing with my brother or something, and I always see a structure there. It's like if they're drawing me back in. It's like if they want us to be, they're like teasing us. They're keeping us right on the cusp. But they're messing up because it's getting to the point more and more where we're getting closer and closer. And pretty soon, they're not going to be able to deceive us anymore. But that's only if we open our mind up to the possibilities that these portals, these creatures, they do exist. Now, some people say there's a lot to do with UFOs, and maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. We don't know. We all know that there's been a lot of stuff on the internet going around about UFOs, about how the government's covering them up and stuff like that. And the government knows about the Bigfoot too. Don't think they don't. But they cover everything up because, you know, they don't want us to know about this stuff. They want us to be sheep. Okay? That's the bottom line. They want us to be sheep. So continue to be a sheep if you want, or you could be a wolf, and you could help the rest of us figure out what it is that these things are doing, that they're able to elude us the way they do. Because you know what, they say that the human only uses 10 or 15% of their brain. Well, you know what, let's try to use 16, 17% of it. Okay, so get out of that human bubble you're locked in. Don't be a sheep. And I hope you enjoy this video I call The Deceivers.